So I want to start with the stored procedure today. So let me share my screen first. Okay, now if you can see my screen, please write yes. If you can't, then please write no. Okay, so Rosen, yes. So yes, everybody is able to see my screen. Okay, so very quickly, without wasting a time, let's start with the stored procedure for today, and let's see what is the stored procedure. Let me connect to my database. Okay, so I think my database that I worked last time was ISMT assignment database. Let me right click on it. Okay, so let's say let me what tables I had. I had user table, that's fine for me. Let me create a new query. Okay, so before I start creating a stored procedure, let's try to understand some basics behind the stored procedure. So you can kill the stored procedures. Let's say stored procedure is a block of SQL statement. Okay, to perform some work. It acts as a function which can be called anytime, anywhere as per the requirement. So this is exactly like a function where, but this is in function you have some programming statements, but in stored procedure you have a SQL statement, and you could be having multiple SQL statement performing some work, having some objective to perform, and in order to create the stored procedure, you would create either proc or procedure. These are some, these are not case sensitive, and the stored procedure name. Okay, and then we open the bracket, we close the bracket, we use as, and then we will begin and we use and this is the body of the stored procedure. This one is the body of the stored procedure. So this is where you write the SQL's your logic here. Here you define all the variables. Here you define all the variables. Now, how do you define a variable in let's say how do you define a variable in terms of stored process? So variables are defined by using one variable constant. You have something at the rate and the variable name, and you have a data type. So this is how you define the variable. Simply is that of the what you call simply is that of the SQL parameter SQL definite. Let's say a field definition in defining a table. Exactly in the same way you declare the variable in terms of the stored procedure, but the variables are prefixed by using at the rate keyword. It has to be prefixed by at the rate, and if you have more than one more than one variable, so obviously you need to have other variable and data type. And you could put another, let's say another variable and data type. And exactly in the last variable, you do not have a comma at the end. The comma is, so if you do not put the comma, that means this is the last variable. So this is how you define a variable, everyone. This is how you define a stored procedure, and we can define a stored procedure for making all those operations. The stored procedure helps you to develop some functions through which you can call it and you can execute the SQL. So once done, you do not have to remember the SQL. You do not need to execute the SQL time and again. So now let us go to the programming part and let's try to understand what is a stored procedure now. Let us say, for example, in making an insert operation, let's say let's see how many users I have. So I have this many number of users, and let's say if I have to insert a value inside this table, so what I have to do every time I have to write insert value. every time I have to write this insert query, insert into user table, and then I have to provide the value. I have to provide the values. Let's say anything around parameter at 123 user. That's it. So I have to write this. So in order to get in order to get in order to create user, I have to do it every time. So I need to do these things time and again. Okay, so those with a very bad knowledge on the SQL may not be even able to do this. And let's say you might make some mistakes later on while writing this SQL again. So you want to improve this performance, like we do not want this insert operations to be repeated every time we want to create a new user. Rather than writing insert operation, we want to create a function through which you can easily create insert procedure. You can easily insert the value without ever writing the insert query. So if you want to do that, in order to do that operation, you have something in hand that is called stored procedure. So let's say I'm going to create my first stored procedure. Let's say I'm going to create my stored procedure to make an insert operation. I'm going to make a stored procedure for making an insert operation. Let's say, so in order to make a stored procedure, the thing that I will do is I'll just do create proc or procedure. I prefer procedure, write procedure. You can do anything as you want. SP underscore and name of the stored procedure. Let's say I'm going to make it create users. And you have this open bracket, close bracket, S between and end. Right. And you need the variable to make an insert operation. Obviously, we need some variables through which you can make an insert operation. The variables that will be required in making an insert operations are the direct username. We do not give ID because the ID is automatically created. We need, sorry, it's not, so that can, and we have role, so password, and then we have a role. So this is how you define the variables in the stored procedure one. By using at the red keyboard or by prefixing it with the at the red symbol, you make variables inside the stored procedure. Now once the stored procedure is ready, now we can go into the body of the stored procedure and we can write the logic that you want. Basically my objective is to perform the insert operation, so I'm going to write the insert query here. So I just kind of insert into user table. And what fields I want, and where will this value come from? So are you able to see my screen, everyone? Please quickly confirm me because I'm just getting some messages like Sagun no, rest of you, Abhishek yes. Okay, so Sagun, I think there must be Vishal Kharil no. Music. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me stop sharing and let me share it again. And if anybody is presenting, do not make a presentation right now. So let me stop sharing and let me present it again. Let me present this now. Now, can you please quickly? Okay, just a second, everyone. Now, can you please quickly confirm whether you can see my screen or not? Yes, yes, okay. Thank you for your confirmation, everyone. So now again, let's get started. So we're going to write the insert query inside the start procedure. So I'm just going to insert into user table, and the field's name will come under this bracket, and the values will come to the stored procedure parameter. So let's say I want to provide the username, password, and a role, and the values they must come as a parameter. Let's say the parameter means the value comes like say as the username. You do not have to provide Ramchandra Harigopal. End user is responsible for providing this value. Now I am ready with my stored procedure. Now once my stored procedure is ready, the next thing that I need to do is to select my stored procedure and execute my stored procedure. And once my stored procedure is executed, you can see command completed successfully. It does not give you one row reflected or two reflected, but it simply gives you command completed successfully. That means a stored procedure has been created. Now where is this start procedure located? The start procedure is located inside something called programmability, and under start procedure you can view the start procedure that we have created, hsp underscore create user. Now, how you have already created a function. Now, how do you call the system procedure? How do you execute the system procedure? So, in order to execute the system procedure, so you can simply use exec where execute and name of the store procedure. Let's say the name of the store procedure create users, and you need to specify the parameter that has been defined in your store procedure. The parameter has to be exactly in the same order as you have defined the variable for defining the store procedure. Let's say the first parameter is a username. So you need to provide username. So let's say I'm going to make it Vishal. Vishal at the rate 123, and the role is, let's say, admin. So this is going to execute the register procedure, which in turn is going to execute this insert query, and then if your everything is right, then your value will be inserted inside this procedure. Let me execute. Now you can see one row is affected. So this is the message we got when we are trying to make an insert operation. So now let me see whether this has been stored or not. So let me just select insert from user table. Let me select, and you can see a new user Vishal has been created also. So that means this start procedure really works. For example, now if you want to create any other user, I simply have to provide a parameter. I do not have to write a start procedure here. I do not need to write any start procedure here. Sorry, SQL here. I simply need to pass the parameters. That's it. I do not want to understand how this is working or what is written here. So simply I provide the parameter and my things work. So let me select this both of them, and you can see 8 with the begin and the begin at the rate user ID has been your password and the user has been created. Similarly, you can create anything that you want. For example, let me create Sundays. Sundays will be like 1, 2, 3. Let me execute. And you can see the user has been created out. So user has been created. So you do not have to worry on the complexity of the code that you have written inside the step procedure, but simply you need to learn how to execute the step procedure, and this way you can create the step procedure. So do you get up clear, everyone? Are you clear with this? If you understood this, please write yes. If you know, then please raise your question onto the chat box. If you have a question, please write down in the chat box. Otherwise, just confirm me writing yes. If you understood it, write yes. If you do not understand, write no or write the question that you have not understood. Can I get a quick confirmation, everyone? Okay, Vinayak, yes. Sagun, yes. Suyas, Rosen, everybody, so many yes. Okay, so I understand that you have understood this part. Now let us say there may be the case that you might see there is some mistake in the step procedure and you want to change the system procedure, you want to correct the system procedure. So there is an option to make a change in the step procedure. And this change is called, let's say, this change can be applied by using something called alter. You cannot recreate a step procedure, but you can alter. And then somebody is again making a presentation also. Is my screen visible to everyone? Can you please quickly confirm? Okay, thank you for the confirmation, everyone. So let's get started with how to make an alter operation. So in order to make a change in the start procedure, let's say I want to add up one thing. I do not want to select it here. Okay, I want to select, once I create the user, the value should be displayed onto my, let's say, this window. So I can just make it alter. I want to change this alter, and here what I want to do is, instead of after being selected, I just can just select start from user table. So I just can select the start from user table, and you can select them and you can execute them. So once you do that, this start procedure has been sent. And now let's say we want to change, we want to provide a value. we have to provide a value. Let's say the value is, let's say again, which is at the rate 123, and then let's say the root z. So let me execute this and let's see whether this works or not. Yeah, this worked. Now this SQL is working out here. Once the value is selected, we got the user populated onto our window. So did you understand this, everyone? Can you please quickly confirm me if you have understood this part? If you have understood, write yes. If not, then please write no. Om Kumar, no. Rest of you, please make a confirmation. Vinay, no. Okay, then let me repeat this concept again. Let me repeat this concept again. Let me see what we have done here. So we want to change the start procedure actually. We want to change the start procedure. So if you want to change the start procedure, you have a command called alter. Alter can change the start procedure. And everything was same. Let's say the rate username, password, role was same. Case begin was same. Insert operation was same. But right now what I want is, once the value is inserted, I want to select all the users. Okay, I want to select all the users. So this is what I have added out here. So once I select all the users, so what this will do, this will populate your window with all the users that you have. So you can execute it n number of times. So if you execute this, then that means your store procedure has been changed. And now once you create any user, let's say Om Kumar is a new user, and let's say now if I execute this, so what should happen? So first of all, insert this will be getting executed. This insert operation should get happen, and select start from user table will select everything, and this will select all the users. So let me execute this, and you can see now even Om Kumar has been set to your store procedure. I'm just trying to demonstrate about the alter store procedure. So did I answer your query, everyone? So did you get this point now? Do you understand the alter? Can I have a please quick confirmation from everyone? Okay. So thank you for your confirmation, everyone. So we are able to make a insert operation, and we are also able to alter the start procedure, and we are able to retrieve all the value. Now let us try two more start procedure for making an update operation and making a delete operation. So let me create one more procedure for making an update operation. So I will just create procedure sp underscore update users. And for making an update operation, if you remember, we need an ID. Without an ID, we can't make an update. So you need an ID. So you'll just pass ID, user ID, integer, varchar. So my all the variable defined. Age begin. Now let's say I want to make an update operation. So update user table. Set username equals to new username. Password equals to new password. Role equals to new role. And where user ID should be equal to current user ID. So this is my update start procedure for making an update operation. So I wrote a create procedure sp underscore update users. all the parameters defined, and age begin, and then we just wrote the update code. So now let's execute this start procedure. And once you create this start procedure, this will be reflected out here. So you can refresh, and you can see I have update users start procedure. Now let me execute this start procedure. For that, I'll just be doing execute. What was my name? HP underscore update users. And if you remember, you need to have this all. You need to provide the ID in this fashion. And I don't know what was my last value. Let me select my last value. Let me select users. Let's say I want to update some value. For example, let's say I want to change Sajan 1 to Sajjan. Okay, I just want to change Sajan 1 to Sajjan. So Sajan 1 ID is 2, so let me select 2. And instead of Sajan 1, I want to make it Sajjan. So let us say Sajjan. And instead of Sajan at the rate 123, I want to make it Sajan at the rate 123. And the role is user, so I want to make it admin. Or let's say I want to leave it user education. So if I execute this, you will find that now Sajan will be converted to Sajjan without ever writing your update query here. Let me execute. One row is affected. Let me select the value, and you see Sajan has been updated to Sajjan, and the password has been updated. User I didn't change, so as it is as it is. Similarly, let me just try to. Okay, I want to change Rajan 1 to Rajan. Okay, I want to change Rajan 1 to Rajan. The ID for Rosen 1 is 1, so let me make it 1. And it's Rosen, so I want to make it Rajan. I just want to make it Rajan. And he is admin, so I want to make him user. So let me execute this start procedure, and let me select whether this has been updated or not. And you can see this has been updated. That means it's working. That means this worked. So now I have written update start procedure for now, and let me know if you have any questions here, if you have any doubt, any query related to update start procedure, or let me confirm you have understood or not understood this start procedure. Can you please quickly confirm me whether you understood it or not, just by writing yes, no, and whatever the questions you have. Okay, so yes from Rosen, Vishal, Sylvia. So thank you for your confirmation, everyone. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your confirmations. And now let us begin again with the one more step procedure for making a delete operation. So let us try to make a delete operation here. So for delete operation, let's say I just want to type one step procedure create procedure sp underscore delete users. And for delete, I would need only one value. That is simply ID. I would need only ID here. The user ID. That's it. I would need only ID here. Okay, because I just want to delete particular user. I just cannot query delete from user table where user ID equals to the user ID. And that's done. My start process for delete is almost done. Let me execute. And it's worked. So let me select all the users and let me delete few users. For example, let me delete this 11. So I can just write execute sp underscore delete users. I hope this is my start procedure here. Delete users, and I simply need to pass the ID. Let's I pass 11, and if you execute this, you will see this will be deleted. So let me execute. and you'll see there is no more ID 11. So let me try to make some alter operation here. Let me just try to make some alter here again. Let me make it alter, and once I delete, all the values will be populated. Let's say this will happen here, so let's remove this, and I want to remove thing. So let me execute this before the changes to happen. Good. Let me execute this as well, and you can see now there is no more thing. If I pass 9, there is no more 9. Okay, so in this way we are able to make our delete operations as well. So we are done with the stored procedure, everyone. We have done with the stored procedure. We are able to make an insert operation, update operation, delete operations, right? So these are the major operations that we want to perform throughout our application development. And now I just want to my code to be more reusable. So do you have any question here? Do you have any question, anyone? So if you have a question, please raise your question. If you have understood, write yes. If you have not understood, write no. For the delete part. Okay, so I get a confirmation yes. So if you have understood, then let's move on with the last part. Let's say I want to write a combined SQL, combined stored procedure for making insert, update, and delete operation. Okay, I want to, and that will be the last part for today. I want to combine them all, and then I want to write a common stored procedure that may be useful in making an insert operation, update operation, delete operation. So let me delete all of this. Let me write a stored procedure. Let's say create procedure sp underscore manage users, and let me create a stored procedure, and let me say so here I will create all those variables that is required, user ID. Okay, so I forgot the password, sign in the password. And we need to write one more, I need one more value here. So for to choose among, to iterate among the let's say range of operation that we want to perform. Let's say we want to either perform insert, update, or delete operations. For that, I'm declaring one variable called mode, and I'm defining it type integer. So that if mode equals to 1, I want to perform insert operation. If mode equal to 2, I'll be performing update operation. If mode equals to 3, I'll be performing delete operation. So let me start now. I can check for the value of mode. If at the rate mode equals to 1, so at the rate equals to 1 or double equals to 1, it's the same thing here. We do not have to write double equals to in the SQL. So I can write insert into user table values. So I'm going to repeat my thing, username, password, and role. And these are the things that we have already done. Username, password, and okay. Similarly, if at the rate mode equals to 2, we want to perform update operation. So we are done with update. And similarly, if mode equals to 3, then we have to perform a delete operation. So we are done with stored procedure that can perform insert, update, and delete operation. You can say I'm even writing my logic here. That means if the value of mode is 1, then I want to perform an insert operation. If my value of mode is 2, then I want to perform an update operation. If my value of mode is 3, then I want to perform a delete operation. Okay, so let me execute this first and let me show you how you can execute this. So just a second everyone, I have a call here. सर छैन सर के अरे सर अनि म कलेजमै छु क्लास लिइरहेको छु त्योभन्दा बढी के चाहियो र तिनीहरूलाई अन्त त्यसलाई भन्नु होइन क्लास त गरौँ सर होइन अब त्यसलाई चाहिँ किन त्यो लफडा बनाउने क्लास लिइरहेको छु होइन हुन्छ क्लास भइरहेछ क्लास त्यही भनिदिनु सर त्यो फोन गरेर बरु म्याम क्लास भइरहेछ हौ भनेर त चाहियो भने रिकर्डिङ पठाइदिउँ अब रिपोर्ट होइन रिकर्डिङै पठाइदिउँ एभिडेन्सको साथ ल सर ओके okay everyone, so sorry for the interruption in the middle. So I was just writing a stored procedure that can perform insert, update and delete operation. For that I declared all those variables and I declared one additional variable called mode so that I can identify whether I want to perform insert, update or delete operation. So I just iterated through the value of mode. I just defined, let's say if mode equals to 1, then I want to perform insert operation. If mode equals to 2, I want to perform the update operation. And lastly, if mode equals to 3, I want to perform the delete operation. And I think I executed this stored procedure. And once I execute my stored procedure, you can see my stored procedure here. Yeah, it's here. So now let me see how you can execute this stored procedure. Before that, let me select what users I have. Let me select. Okay, so I have 8 users, and now let me just try to execute the stored procedures. Let me just execute sp_manage users. I guess it's sp underscore manage users. Yeah. And let's I want to perform an insert operation. So for insert operation, you need ID. ID can be anything. Let's say 0, because insert operation will not take any ID. But still, since you have defined this parameter here, you have to provide the parameter. If you have defined a parameter, you have to provide a parameter, no matter whatever parameter you provide. But you have to provide a parameter. Name is, let's say, Ramesh. Ramesh at the rate 123. And the password role is, let's say, user. Let me execute this. And you can see there is an error. Okay, expects a parameter. Yeah, so it expects a parameter at the rate mode. So I have not supplied the value of modes because there is something called mode here. So mode is either 1 or 2 or 3. So if I provide here 1, that means insert will happen. Let me execute this again. That means one row affected. Now let me see whether the user is saved or not. So let me execute this, and you can see Ramesh is created. Okay. Similarly, Ramesh ID is 12. Now let me make an update with 12. So let me make it 12, and I want to make an update operation. So I just want to make Ramesh to Rameshwar. Okay, Rameshwar, and I want to leave remaining as it is, and I want to be admin. And okay, so and let me in this mode. So if I pass 1, so again a new user will be created. But if I pass 2, then your update will happen. So you will need to make an update. So for making an update, we need to provide the value of mode is 2. So this value should be equal to 2. And why this value should be 2? Because your last value is 2. The first one is a user ID. The second one is a username. password, role, and this is mode. So you have to provide exactly in this sequence. Let me execute this code. One row affected. Let me select, and you can see 12 has been updated to Ramesh Shore. Similarly, in order to perform a delete operation, what you need to do is to simply pass your 3 and then an ID. You just need to pass your ID, and delete will not care whatever you have provided here. Delete will only care for this ID which has been provided, and since you have a mode here, so for mode equals to 3 we need to perform a delete operation, so we have to provide mode and an ID. So what I did, I provided ID of 12, that means 12 should be deleted, and and to make a delete operation you need to provide the mode as 3. So let me execute this, and you can see one row is affected. Now let me select whether this 12 has been deleted or not. You can see 12 is no longer available there. So we are able to perform insert, update, and delete operation just by writing a small line of code. Let's say one start procedure. And this is it. What this is the thing that we will be doing most of the time. We will be doing this most of the time. We will be writing the start procedure for most of the time everyone. So I hope this is very tricky, a bit tricky for you to understand, but try to understand this because these are the things that we will be doing every time. In fact, if you practice for once, you'll be able to. You will have some like this. You will have the idea on how to make a stored procedure and performing all those operations. So I hope. So in the meantime, now if you have any query regarding this, so please let me know. If you have any question on the combined stored procedures, so please let me know. Please let me know if you have a question, everyone. If you have understood, please write yes. No, then please write no. Please confirm me, everyone. I would like to have a very quick confirmation from you all. Uh, Sylvia, yes. Suyes, yes. Vishal, Kharel, Rosen, yes. Okay, thank you for your confirmation, everyone. I'm really glad that you have understood this complex thing. Actually, it's very complex to understand in the very beginning, right? So it's not that really easy to understand. So now what we will do today is we will end up today's session, and I will see you tomorrow, everyone. And in the meantime, you can just repeat the things for the question that I gave you yesterday. We can write a start process for making insert operation, update operation, delete operation, and create a combined start procedure for the question that I gave you yesterday. Please do complete that part, and you can submit me the soft copy. You can just submit me the soft copy of the question that you have. Okay then, everyone. So see you tomorrow again, and happy Raksha Bandhan, happy Dhanai Purnima, happy Shravan Purnima. Enjoy your day, everyone. So if you have a question, you can ask. Otherwise, you can keep on living. The video will be uploaded on your Mediafire or on the YouTube. Okay, I'll upload that on the YouTube. out, and it's because of this pandemic situation. I'm creating this video that will help you to clearly understand the stock procedure. And I'm going to start it from the scratch so that you can start doing from the scratch and you'll be implementing it in your project. And I'm going